Kisan, changing India's pride.
The whispers rising from the soil have now become a scream. We are sowing seeds, but the crop of trust is withering. Poison isn't just in the fields, it's reaching our very veins. That's why the time has come to raise our voices for change and to make a difference. Today, as you all know, we have arrived in Bulandshahr. Yes, Bulandshahr is the ground from where voices will rise, reaching every corner of the country, reaching our farmers. Hello, I am Anju Singh, and today in our Krishi Chaupal, our Farmers Forum, we will talk about IPM, that is Integrated Pest Management. Here there won't just be questions but answers too, and solutions. There won't be fear but direction. And alongside all these, it won't be about poison but about life connected to the earth. So all our esteemed guests are here with us. We have a full panel of guests, scientists, experts and you, the farmers. And here you are not just spectators but participants in a revolution. So let's begin the program with thunderous applause. So as we said, all the farmers here are participants. IPM is a method where we use techniques to minimize chemicals or ideally avoid chemical use altogether. And our panel of guests who are our guides will help and explain what to do and what not to do. So let's introduce them to you one by one. First, I would like to welcome Dr. Ajanta Bira, Principal Scientist at ICAR NCIPM, New Delhi. A very warm welcome to you. I would like all our viewers, our farmers to welcome her with applause. We also have Dr. Shravan Manbhar Haldar with us. A very warm welcome to you. Principal Scientist at ICAR NCIPM, New Delhi. You will tell us the benefits of adopting IPM in sugarcane crops. And we have Dr. Anup Kumar, Senior Scientist at ICAR NCIPM, New Delhi. You will explain how IPM can be adopted in paddy and how we can make integrated minimal use of chemicals, leveraging the blessings and heritage of nature that we have. Look, the forum is set and we can see excitement on the faces of our farmers too, because this is a platform where there are scientists, there are farmers, and we are trying to embark on a new path. How do we move from darkness to light? How can we create a new picture by connecting with nature? How do we give pure food to our future generation? This is an effort we are making for them. So before we proceed, let's watch a report that will explain in more detail what IPM is and why we are calling it the need of the hour. Let's watch.
The indiscriminate use of chemical pesticides is continuously increasing the amount of toxic residues in crops. Especially in vegetables and fruits, these residues persist for a long time. Consuming these fruits and vegetables has a negative impact on human health. And many chemical pesticides are even carcinogenic. Furthermore, residue levels often exceed the limits set for export. In such cases, importing countries refuse to accept our agricultural produce. Data shows that besides paddy, cotton, fruits and vegetables, about 67,000 tons of pesticides are applied annually to various crops like spices and flowers. Their total cost amounts to 2,25,000 crore rupees. Thus, we can say that these pesticides increase crop production costs, which reduces farmers' net profit. Additionally, chemical pesticides are creating several other problems. For instance, after a period, harmful pests develop resistance against them. For pests that develop such resistance, the effect of pesticides become very minimal. On the other hand, these chemicals cannot differentiate between harmful and beneficial insects. When sprayed, they kill not only harmful pests but also beneficial, friendly insects. Integrated Pest Management, or IPM, is the solution to all these problems. In IPM, the use of chemical pesticides is greatly reduced. Moreover, this method is considered safe for both the environment and human health. Integrated pest management employs various measures including crop rotation, weed control, selection of good seeds, proper plant-to-plant spacing, seed and soil treatment with the help of biocontrol agents, use of neem oil, pheromone traps, light traps, and yellow and blue sticky traps. Chemical control is used only as a last resort. Its use is limited to preventing economic loss for the farmer.
So you just saw the report and we tried to cover many aspects in it. But now we will speak directly with our scientists and understand the farmers' problems. Let's start with Dr. Ajanta. Ma'am, we are talking about IPM, Integrated Pest Management. How can we manage pests, diagnose insect infestations and diseases in an integrated way? What exactly is it and why is its need being felt so strongly?
See, you have asked a very important question. This integrated pest management is a system where we manage the insects and diseases that affect our crops by coordinating various types of activities. Now, why was this management needed? Or why was IPM needed? It's very important to understand this because 67,000 tons of pesticides are being poured into our crops annually in India. And their severe adverse effects are continuously impacting our environment, our human health, our farmers' health, and our beneficial insects that were there to create a balance. They are also severely affected, and the residue continuously seeping into the soil are having a very detrimental impact on its health as well. This situation is extremely concerning. Therefore, it's crucial that we adopt integrated pest management.
Yes. Dr. Haldar, I would like to come to you. As we know, this is entirely a sugarcane belt. Even before the program, when I spoke with some farmers, they specifically asked us to discuss sugarcane. Sugarcane in itself is a very beloved crop and our farmers here bring sweetness to us. However, it also comes with challenges. There are diseases like red rot affecting those sugarcane varieties that offer good recovery and high yields, but also face greater challenges. So, can IPM be a solution for this, and if so, how?
Greetings, farmer brothers and sisters. I want to tell you that sugarcane is a major crop in India. And if you look at your Uttar Pradesh area, it's the main crop. In fact, in this region, the most sugarcane is grown. And within it, the main diseases and pests that are there, you can count them as 3 to 4 key ones. While scientists have recorded about 200 to 250 different types, the primary ones are 4 to 5. Among those, as you mentioned, red rot is the biggest problem in this area. And this variety, this CO0238, it has excellent sugar content and provides the highest production. But red rot has become its biggest issue. And the second is top borer. These are two major problems causing the most trouble in this area and also across India. So for red rot, I would like to tell you, first of all, you must treat your sugarcane sets, that is your sugarcane seeds. And before that, you need to focus on selection. Because red rot disease comes from the set itself. If you don't properly select your sets and if you avoid the red rot visible inside, then that disease is going to transfer. So the best thing is that 50 to 60% of your control will come from that initial step alone. Secondly, after this, what we have to do, we'll talk about biological control methods like trichoderma. If you use it for seed treatment and treating your sugarcane sets, then its control can become very easy for you. Besides that, the Indian Institute of Sugarcane Research in Lucknow, they have developed 2 varieties that are resistant to red rot. Their names are CO Lucknow 14201 and CO Lucknow 16202. These 2 varieties have been found to be very good and you can use them in the coming time. But the other point that comes up is that we often want to plant this specific variety. If you want to plant this variety, then for red rot control, you need to implement integrated pest management using the 2 or 3 methods we have already mentioned. Seed treatment using resistant varieties, and for the sets, there's also another method. And in our Coimbatore Institute, we have also developed a vacuum machine. If you treat your seeds with it, they get thoroughly treated. Now, a single farmer might not be able to buy it, but if they collectively purchase that machine, the sugarcane sets can be effectively treated.
Since farmers were speaking with me earlier, let's also talk on camera and see if there are any questions related to sugarcane.
I am asking you about sugarcane. What are the different insects and diseases that affect sugarcane crops, and how can we benefit from integrated pest management for them?
Regarding the pests and diseases, I have already told you that in this area, the 2 or 3 main pests are top borer, early shoot borer, and internode borer. These are the pests that are most prevalent. And secondly, there are 2 diseases. One is red rot, also known as Lal Sadan, and the other is Pokaha boing, which is also becoming a growing problem in this area. So for the control of all these, because I have also read in the news that most farmers here are using Coragen, what happened with that is that the top borer has developed resistance and it's no longer being controlled. Farmers are doing 4 to 5 sprays, so in IPM we advise this. If the infestation is beyond the ETL or economic threshold level, or if the incidence is very high, and the farmer didn't notice this from the beginning, then you can use chemicals as a last resort. But besides that, there are many other integrated pest management methods. For example, if you are facing the problem of top borer infestation, I would say Trichocard is the most important. With Trichocard, you can easily control it, but you need to apply it 2 to 3 times in the field. And for instance, they recommend 4 to 5 cards per hectare, with each card containing around 20,000 eggs. And if you have applied it 3 to 4 times in your field, then this biological control, where one organism controls another, is very effective.
Yes.
This is very good.
Yes, absolutely.
Besides that, there's also a pheromone trap that you can use to control it.
Yes. So we can say that there are various methods our farmers can benefit from. I would like to speak with Dr. Anup Kumar. Sir, just as sugarcane is widely grown here, paddy is also a major crop and its season is currently underway. Our farmers are quite busy. I believe some have even left their work to come here. So since they have come, they should benefit from this. How can they use IPM in paddy?
So regarding IPM in paddy, by now most people would have understood the meaning of the term IPM. Integrated Pest Management. What's a pest? Any organism that is destroying your crop. That destructive organism is a pest. Right? You need to manage it. The objective of management should be greater and long-term benefit. Okay? And then comes integrated or Samanvit. It means not just one thing. If you use only one chemical, that's one approach. Integrated means using your traditional methods, biological methods, and only when necessary, chemicals. When you combine all these, that's your integrated pest management. So what are the main problems concerning the paddy crops?
Stem borer, right?
Yes, stem borer, right? Then you have Bakane disease and also BPH or brown plant hopper. There are many problems. Beyond these, a huge problem arising from pesticides is the residue in the crops. Because of these residues, our exported paddy, especially basmati paddy, doesn't fetch a good price and often comes back rejected. So we don't even get a good rate here. We have the production but no good price. Therefore, by adopting IPM in paddy, we need to produce such high quality paddy, almost like organic, but without compromising on yield. So what all you need to do? You will have to approach it comprehensively, taking the health of the entire crop into account, starting from the soil. The very first step is to apply green manure in your fields. Use dhencha, chana or moong. After tilling in the green manure, when you are preparing your nursery, the nursery must be healthy. For that, when selecting seeds, buy them from a reliable source and treat the seeds. Seed treatment is typically done with carbendazim. If you use the organic method with trichoderma fungus, treat the seeds at 10 grams per kilogram of seed. Once you have planted the seedlings, you need to be careful when uprooting them. To ensure the seedlings don't break during uprooting, the nursery should be filled with water. If you uproot them, then the roots won't break. If the roots break, disease will spread more easily, providing an easy entry point of fungus. After uprooting the seedlings, it's crucial to treat the seedlings before transplanting. How to treat the seedlings? Pseudomonas is a bacteria that's also organic. While pesticides or any chemicals get used up after some time, bacteria or fungi, which are biological, will remain in the field, multiply and continue working. So these will protect your crop from many diseases for a longer time.
So, if farmers proceed with such a comprehensive plan, their costs will also decrease. As you mentioned, Dr. Ajanta, a huge amount of chemicals are being used, which is harming farmers because their costs are increasing. So, let's take a question from our farmers. We have a farmer with a question about paddy.
Dr. Sir, I would like to ask you this question, that how we can achieve higher pesticide-free and poison-free yields in paddy through IPM. And my second question is about the paddy transplanting we are doing nowadays. There's a major problem with stem borer and bacana disease in that. So how can we protect against them using IPM method?
In IPM, as we have discussed, there are two key steps: seed treatment and seedling treatment. Before that, when I talked about seed selection, one step was missed. If you are even using your own homegrown seeds, put them in a 2% salt solution. Okay? In this way, the lighter and healthy seeds will float and the heavier, healthy ones will settle to the bottom. Take those seeds and clean them thoroughly 4-5 times. This is a very important step in selection. So once you have done the seedling treatment with Pseudomonas, you'll transplant them into the field in the usual way. Now there is one more step even before transplanting, especially if stem borer. Remove the top 3 to 4 centimeters of the seedling leaves from the nursery before planting them in the main field. This is because the stem borer pest lays its eggs in the nursery. Eggs will be eliminated and won't even reach the field. So your problem won't escalate further. Now let's say transplanting is done in the field. What do you need to pay attention to during the transplant? Plant at least 2 seedlings in one spot. And you need to do line transplanting, leaving a gap of about 1 foot, approximately 40 centimeters every 3 to 4 meters. This space will be useful for walking and will ensure good circulation of air. After this, the regular field monitoring is very important. IPM cannot happen without monitoring at all. You need to monitor weekly and look if any pest is appearing right. You can easily identify stem borer eggs. We have even provided pictures of its mouth here. You can identify them by looking at the pictures here. So you need to check your field. If you observe 5 spots, checking 20 plants or 25 plants, only if more than 10% are dying due to stem borer, should you proceed further? Otherwise, you don't need to do anything. In IPM, doing nothing often equals to doing a lot. This way, if you don't apply chemicals, spiders and beneficial insects will do their work, and it's quite possible you won't even need pesticides at all.
It's time for a short break now, but before that, Dr. Ajanta, in very few words, I would like to know about the phased components of IPM. Please quickly tell our audience.
Yes, it has some crucial components. The first is to use resistant varieties in every type of IPM. If our variety is good, if our seeds are good, then our crop will be healthier. The second is seed treatment, which our colleagues have just explained to you. After that comes monitoring, which is very essential. As my colleague detailed monitoring, then there are many types of traps. Whether it's the yellow sticky trap, the pheromone trap, or in the case of fruit flies, the fruit fly trap. These types of traps help us detect and monitor. And once monitoring reveals that a particular pest is abundant in our field, we can then do mass trapping to reduce its number. Finally, we have biological control. In biological control, we use products like neem and its oil derivatives. Our farmers can use neem extract from seeds, or they can make extract from neem leaves. And under biological control, it's also about conserving our beneficial insects, using one organism to control another. And lastly comes the use of pesticides.
As we were currently doing, right?
Yes. That's only as the last resort. If there's no other option and if the pest population genuinely exceeds our economic threshold, only then it should be used, and with great caution.
Absolutely. You have also made it very clear here that sometimes farmers get the idea that IPM is only for those who want to do purely organic or natural farming, meaning organic or natural farming. But that's not the case. These are stages. You should only use chemicals as a last resort when no other solution is available. However, it's been the other way around. And that's what you now need to stop doing. So I truly hope that the information we have just gathered from our experts and conveyed to our farmers will definitely be kept in mind by them. For now, it's a short break. Don't go anywhere. This is a very important, very meaningful discussion on IPM. Let's take a break.
यूरिया का स्वदेशी उत्पादन 70 लाख टन बढ़ाने के लिए 6 उर्वरक संयंत्रों का उद्धार किया जा रहा है। FCIL के गोरखपुर, सिंदरी, तलचर और रामागुंडम संयंत्र, HFCL की बरौनी इकाई और BVFCL की नामरू फोर्थ सोने पर सुहागा ये है कि देश में अब बनेगा सिर्फ नीम लेपित यूरिया, क्योंकि इससे होगा किसानों का फायदा ही फायदा। अनाज का उत्पादन 10% तक बढ़ेगा, बढ़ेगी 10 से 15% नाइट्रोजन क्षमता।
Welcome back once again after the break. You are watching Krishi Chaupal. Today's Krishi Chaupal isn't just a forum. It's a strategy for the future, a policy and an effort to make our future even better. Better in a way that we sow healthy seeds today. We are now joined by special guests. Let's introduce them to you one by one. We have Dr. Rekha Balodi, scientist at ICAR NCIPM, New Delhi. Dr. Niranjan Singh, Principal Scientist at ICAR NCIPM, New Delhi. And we have a very special guest with us. I would say please welcome him with thunderous applause, Dr. Bhushan Tyagi. He has been honored with the Padma Shri Award. And if I say he is the pioneer of this field, it's Bhishma Pitamaha. And what more accolades can I use? All seem insufficient. A round of applause for him once again. He will tell us about his experiences, how he reaches his point, and how he is becoming an inspiration for other farmers. So let's begin our conversation. First, I would like to ask you, ma'am, as we were discussing, how can we use IPM in tomatoes? Tomatoes are also a crop, a cash crop. There's demand for it throughout the year and it holds great importance among vegetables. But it's also equally sensitive. Tomatoes get upset very quickly and turn red. So, how do we use IPM in this?
This is a very important question, especially since tomato is a crop that is eaten cooked, but also consumed raw as a salad. So it faces many pests, which we call diseases and insects. These include fruit borer and also whitefly, which brings with it virus-related diseases. Additionally, there's early and late blight, and now nematodes, also known as root knot nematodes, a significant problem in tomatoes. To prevent all these diseases, we must use integrated pest management, and as mentioned before, we shouldn't directly resort to chemicals. For instance, we should adopt crop rotation to reduce soil-borne diseases like nematodes. Along with this, we should maximize the use of biological control. As emphasized earlier, the use of trichoderma and pseudomonas should be increased. A trichoderma is a beneficial fungus that we can use to treat the soil as well as for seed treatment. For soil treatment, we should mix it with organic manure. We can add 1 kg per ton to vermicompost, also known as earthworm manure or farmyard manure. We can also use it for seed treatment in tomatoes at a rate of 5 grams per kilogram. When we perform both soil and seed treatment, soil-borne diseases are significantly reduced. Similarly, the fruit borer or fruit piercer, as we call it, is a very significant pest that causes immense damage to crops, and farmers become greatly troubled by it. For this, we should minimize chemical use, only applying them when the pest reaches the economic injury level. For detection, we can use pheromone traps, specifically the one named helilure. Additionally, we can use NPV at a rate of 250 per hectare. Along with this, for whitefly, we should use yellow sticky traps or blue sticky traps. We can deploy these at a rate of 5 to 10 per acre for monitoring. If we are using them for mass trapping, we should increase the density to 15 to 20 traps per acre. Furthermore, before resorting to chemicals or pesticide, we should use biological control agents like Bivarium bassiana and Metarhizium. For nematodes too, we can use good biological control agents like Pacillomyces. So, by using all these facts and techniques, we should adopt integrated pest management in tomatoes
Alright, let's take some questions from our farmers now. Some farmers have been raising their hands in between. Look, this is a great opportunity to speak directly with the scientists. They have come right to your fields. So let's take a question.
I'd like to ask that if the yield of tomatoes will improve with IPM treatment.
As I just explained, there are various components of integrated pest management through which we can adopt and implement the IPM system in tomatoes. Along with that, regarding your question about whether tomato yield will increase, absolutely, tomato yield does increase with this. This is because the integrated pest management, that is IPM, we don't just diagnose a disease after it appears, we are prepared in advance so that if any disease or pest infestation increases, we can diagnose it before it causes damage to us or our crops.
Look, many efforts are being made. I would even say that an era of revolution has begun where we are seeing so much focus on the agricultural sector. And efforts are being made to connect with farmers. But for this information to reach the farmers, what kind of communication tools are available? What are the different mediums? And how can our farmers, those watching here, sitting here, and those watching via television, adopt these and connect with them?
Deploying experts in every village or for every farmer is a very difficult task. So, as we all know that information and communication technology ICT has a very wide reach and it can easily reach a very large audience. Therefore, in this integrated pest management system, it is crucial that information reaches farmers on time and ICT can play a very significant role in its dissemination about all this. Of course, everyone in our homes is currently using various ICT tools, whether it is a smartphone, a tablet, or a desktop. But still, when it comes to integrated pest management in agriculture, its use is not as widespread. Whether it's in the commercial sector or in the medical field, we are extensively using ICT. In agriculture, especially in pest management, it's not being utilized as much yet. So, I would say this, there are many such ICT tools that, if used, can help our farmer brothers and sisters get accurate and timely information very easily, and also the...
Could you tell us about some of the main commonly used tools?
Yes, absolutely. I'd like to talk about that too. See, a farmer's two biggest challenges when it comes to pest management are, first, correct pest identification. The second is getting the right advice for its management. In the absence of an expert, farmers often approach the pesticide dealer for help in both these cases. So, if they use these information and communication technology tools instead of relying solely on experts, they'll easily get accurate information at the right time. For this, our Indian Council of Agricultural Research recently, in collaboration with the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, have developed a very good app called the National Pest Surveillance System. Its short form is NPSS. With its help, we use artificial intelligence for pest and disease identification. So, you just need to provide a photo from your field and it tells you exactly what pest or disease it is. And then, within the app itself, if you tell the level of pest infestation in your field, whether it's moderate or a very serious problem, or if it's very low, based on that, it also provides you the advice, the right advice to you.
So that means it's quite practical. These tools have been designed to be very user-friendly, and we can say that they are available in your regional language, the language of your area. You can select it and it's like a live demo. If you put a problem into the app, you will get a solution right away. But we have an entire university sitting with us here in Dr. Bhushan Tyagi. So, sir, please tell our audience how they can benefit from the discussion we have had so far and what your experience has been. They say truth fears no trial, and you have witnessed this entire era. You have seen how beneficial this is. We have even seen your fields. They are very green and the crops look very healthy.
Today's topic is very serious. We have suffered more harm from pesticides than from chemical fertilizers. And for this, a resolute journey has begun. A program initiated by the esteemed Prime Minister of India and our Agricultural Minister. We are gathered here today for an in-depth discussion on IPM. The objective of this program is to understand how we can protect our fields from chemical poisons so that we become conscious of our health, the environment, and also export standards. Because, friends, when the economic prosperity of farmers increases, the economic prosperity of the nation increases. In adverse situations, if we absolutely must use them, the Government of India has given 4 color indications for all the toxic products available in the market. These include red, yellow, blue, and green. My request to all farmer brothers and sisters is that when purchasing, at the very least, ensure that we do not go beyond the green color. We should only use those chemicals that are relatively safer.
Tyagiji, I have a question here. When I was
Yes.
speaking with farmers, and often when we got to the fields, farmers say, all this sounds very good,
Yes.
but it takes a lot of time. It requires a lot of patience. And at the same time,
Yes.
it's also true that patience bears sweet fruit. We know that too.
Here, I appeal to all farmer brothers and sisters across the country that change doesn't take time because change happens at a mental level. We want to change at the operational level, but change is mental. The mindset can change in an instant. The day farmers in my country realize that we must farm for the nation, farm for health, and farm for economic prosperity. Look, our esteemed Prime Minister has a beautiful saying. He said that the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, moves from the prosperity of the farmer towards the prosperity of the nation. If the farmer is not prosperous, how will the nation prosper? In this situation, I am very happy about IPM today. It's a case of better late than never. We should have started this much earlier.
Our Prime Minister reminds us again and again that if you are a farmer, then we exist. Because only if you exist, there is food, and only then will our country progress. We have some farmers. Let's have questions in their minds.
My name is Mukesh Nagar from Bambawad village, Gautam Budh Nagar district, Noida. What are the benefits and advantages of NPSS?
I would like to emphasize that the NPSS app utilizes information and communication technology to provide farmers with advice based on the actual level of pest and disease infestation in their fields. This feature is not available in other apps yet. All the information within it is scientific, sourced directly from reliable experts at the Indian Council of Agricultural Research.
The app you just described, sir, seems to be the kind that if someone tries to mislead you, say at a store, you can immediately input the information into the app and get an instant answer. Now, ma'am, I would like to shift back to tomatoes, which we started with. We all know tomatoes are an excellent crop, rich in nutrients, and they fetch good prices in the market. However, a significant challenge with tomatoes is their short shelf life. Can we improve its shelf life by using IPM? What kind of results can we expect? Does it make the crop healthier?
IPM is primarily used for pest management regarding post-harvest technology and shelf life. We can indeed extend the shelf life of tomatoes by utilizing different IPM components even post-harvest. That's correct. However, as I mentioned earlier, that if we effectively manage many pests and diseases right in the field, then the residues from these pests and diseases will be significantly reduced when we harvest the crop. This ensures that the quality of the tomatoes remains high even when they go into storage.
Absolutely, ma'am. You have explained how the use of IPM yields excellent results in tomato cultivation. Now let's talk to other farmers and take another question. So please.
I am Rakesh Roy, a sugarcane farmer. I'd like to share an experience and then ask a question. We are discussing IPM, and I personally use IPM in my sugarcane fields. I found the light trap to be more effective than pheromone traps and trichocards for managing top borer, which is a major problem in our district and indeed across the entire state. Especially with the 238 variety, I have achieved 70 to 80% management using it. And sir, my question for you is, every year, many of our farmer brothers, they are losing their lives due to pesticides. They go to the shopkeeper who gives them such heavy doses for spraying or granular application that many are collapsing right in the fields. So, what precautions should farmers take in that case? What preventive measures can they adopt to avoid this?
You have asked an excellent question. and shared your valuable experience. What you are talking about is itself a technique within integrated pest management. You have personally yourself seen how beneficial it is. This is excellent information for all farmers. If we use the various techniques of integrated pest management, we'll not only save our soil from poison, but also protect our environment and also our health also. These are very easy techniques, whether it's pheromone traps, yellow sticky traps, or other traps. They can be used for both monitoring and also for managing pests. As for your point about pesticide dealers giving incorrect mixtures or wrong types of pesticides, that's precisely why I mentioned the tools available through information and communication technology, the systems and tools developed by scientists for integrated pest management, be it Kisan, the Plantix app, or our flagship NPSS that I just spoke about. If you use these apps, you will be able to avoid the misinformation provided by pesticide dealers. Through these apps, you can verify the information given by a pesticide dealer if they are providing incorrect advice through these apps.
Yes. And with that, it's time for a short break here. Please don't change the channel. We will take a quick break and Krishi Chaupal will continue right after.
किसान भाइयों गांठ बांध लो, गांठ बांध लो, बात बहुत है काम की, समृद्धि के पैगाम की। मिट्टी के मिजाज को समझो, मिट्टी के हर राज को समझो, मिट्टी की तुम जांच कराओ, मुफ्त सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड ले जाओ। कभी मुनासिब बीज लगाओ, सही किस्म की खाद ले आओ, जितनी जरूरी उतनी डालो, सही मात्रा खुद पहचानो, इसको अपना मंत्र बना लो, मिट्टी की सेहत तो जानो। बात बहुत है काम की, कम लागत अधिक वरदान की, किसान भाइयों गांठ बांध लो।
आज ही मिट्टी की जांच कराएं, राज्य सरकार के कृषि अधिकारी से संपर्क करें और मुफ्त में सॉइल हेल्थ कार्ड पाएं। कृषि और किसान कल्याण मंत्रालय द्वारा किसान हित में
Welcome back once again after the break. You are watching Krishi Chaupal and this time our forum is set up in Bulandshahr. Bulandshahr is known for its fitness and its very hard-working farmers. However, there are also some challenges and we are discussing how to find solutions to these challenges through IPM. Now let's introduce the special guests joining us in this segment. We have Dr. Sunita Pandey, Joint Director DPPQS Faridabad, Haryana. Please welcome her with applause. We also have Dr. V.D. Nigam, Deputy Director DPPQS Faridabad, Haryana. A warm welcome to you too, sir, and Dr. Vandana Pandey, Deputy Director DPPQS Faridabad, and Dr. Reshu Singh, Officer in Charge KVK Bulandshahr. So you have met all our guests and now one by one we will begin our discussion. Farmers, please also be ready with your questions. First, I would like to speak with Dr. Sunita Pandey. We were discussing the National Pest Surveillance System NPSS before the break. How can this be implemented in different ways? And how should this monitoring be done and for how long? How can this be ensured?
See, with the National Pest Surveillance System, what often used to happen was that if our farmers went into their fields and saw a pest, they'd directly go to a pesticide dealer. They'd use whatever chemical was given to them because they didn't know the correct type or dosage to apply. So with this app, if you have downloaded it, you can simply take a photo of the pest. After taking the photo, you will immediately know what pest it is. This app has a module, a qualitative module, that's specifically for our farmer brothers and sisters.
It's real time, absolutely.
Yes, it's real time. You input the pest you have identified and indicate its severity, whether it's low, medium or high. Based on that, you will receive tailored advice. The best part is that all the pesticides registered in the app are approved by the Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee. so you can confidently use their recommendations. This app covers 65 different crops, identifies 901 pests and diseases, and provides information on 173 nutrients.
Absolutely. So, ma'am, I also want to know, as you mentioned it's real time, you upload a picture and get an instant solution. Is this system, this entire app, linked in any way to our other schemes, especially since a large number of farmers will be joining it? For instance, I'm thinking of the crop insurance scheme. We often see crops damaged by diseases there too. So, is there any kind of link between them? I think this is something farmers would also like to know.
Absolutely. See, our farmers can participate in this system. If you go to the field and spot a pest, you can immediately input it through the qualitative module in the app. Our experts are constantly monitoring the web portal. They instantly recognize if there's a significant outbreak of a particular pest in an area. They then immediately issue advisories to our agricultural extension officers, state department officials, and CIPMC scouts. Previously, issuing an advisory would take 10 to 15 days. But now, our experts issue them immediately.
So, in a way, we can say that this app provides farmers with real-time solutions to their problems. As soon as you input a problem, you get an answer right away. Let's take some questions from our farmers now. We have a few farmers here with us.
In Bulandshahr, especially in the Siana block, 80% of the land consists of orchards, and regarding orchards, people come from Rehman Kheda and other places, but their concerns aren't adequately addressed. Very few experts are available, or there are so many people. We would like you to explain the diseases that affect orchards and how to protect them.
As I would like to explain, a fruit fly known as phal makhi is a problem that's increasing day by day. There are many reasons behind this. As all the experts have mentioned, the irregular increase in the dosage of chemicals we are using to control it is causing the pest to develop resistance, making it very difficult to control it, which is creating all the problem. If we look at the current situation, our mangoes, they are exported to several countries around the world. However, it's being observed that fruit fly larvae or maggots are found inside the fruit, which is causing our mangoes to be rejected. And because of this, if you look at the situation from an international perspective, this also damages India's reputation. And I would also like to tell you that the ratio for controlling fruit fly in mangoes using chemicals, you will need ethyl alcohol 60 ml, methyl eugenol 40 ml, and malathion 20 ml. So that's a 6:4:2. This is a ratio that you have to create. These chemicals are available in the market from any scientific chemical supplier. These are the scientific medicines that the shops sell. These chemicals are available in the market from any scientific chemical supplier. If you prepare 120 ml of this solution, then you can make approximately 30 lures out of it. And the methods that are used to prepare them: take any wooden block or cotton wick and soak it in the solution for 24 hours overnight. Just soak it. After you have soaked it, and if you want to use it, if you want to install it, you can install it directly in the field after 24 hours. If you don't need to use it immediately, after 24 hours, you can wrap it in aluminium foil to prevent the active scent from evaporating. And whenever you need to use it, just apply the chemical in the ratio that I mentioned. This will provide significant relief from fruit flies.
Absolutely. You have repeatedly mentioned the ratio here, so I would like to turn to Dr. Vandana Pandey now. Vandana ji, when we discussed IPM, it was never said that pesticides should not be used at all. However, they are meant to be the last resort. And even for that last resort, you need to use your full discretion. What the correct ratio should be, what the waiting period is if you are using it on fruits and vegetables. So I would like you to also tell our audience that IPM doesn't mean you are entirely organic. But if a problem is escalating and you decide to use chemicals for its solution, how should that be done?
You're absolutely right. As all the scientists have explained so far, nowhere in IPM do we say that you shouldn't use pesticides at all. However, we use the term discretionary because the issue of pesticide residues, which we are currently seeing in all food products, fruits, and vegetables within the food chain, why is that happening? It's happening because if we use pesticides indiscriminately, if we use them discreetly as a component of IPM according to the guidelines given on the leaflet and label, this is very important point that farmers haven't yet put into practice enough to read the label and leaflet in detail. They need to check what instructions are given and whether the specific pest or disease they are trying to control is actually listed on the label and leaflet. The residue problem we are seeing today, where we often find off-label pesticides, meaning a residue of a pesticide is found in, say, mangoes, which isn't even recommended for mangoes at all, which the government of India hasn't even approved for that specific crop. So for farmers, as we have explained about this app today, it's a solution for everything. This is because whenever you check the app, you'll find that for any crop you're using it for, it provides all the details regarding the approved pesticide by the Central Insecticide Board and Registration Committee, including the approved dosage and the duration for which it should be used. This will ensure its judicious use. So the most important thing farmers need to keep in mind and make a practice of is to read the label and leaflet in detail. They must verify if the pesticide is approved for the specific plant or crop they are using it on. They also need to check if the quantity they are using is the approved quantity and if they are not using more than recommended. This is crucial because if you use it according to the given guidelines, you will never face the problem of pesticide residues.
Right. Let's take some questions from our farmers. We have a very experienced farmer with us.
In our area, 96% of the land consists of orchards. It's a fruit belt. But so far, none of the doctors or scientists that we have met have talked about root rot or the drying up of plants and branches from the top. The branches that are drying from the top, they are dying. Now, can you please tell me, now what we want to know is how we can save them?
The question that has come up mentions two problems, root rot and in many areas of our orchards, a major issue of tree drying up. First, I want to inform you that a project is being conducted here by CISH Lucknow, specially targeting this problem based on various scientific resources. Recommendations are being provided to our farmers and orchard owners. Efforts are being made to address this issue through the use of various biological and chemical methods. The first cause which we have thoroughly worked out is that the method of tillage in our orchards especially requires significant attention because the way we damage our roots, particularly with our tillage methods, deep tillage should be avoided. We often assume that roots only extend as far as the trunk. However, our feeder roots, which are delicate, extend as far as the canopy of the plant, where you would consider its shadow to fall. It's crucial not to damage these feeder roots. This is because the person doing the tillage often assumes there won't be any roots there, and the more we damage the roots, the more entry points our harmful fungi or their agents will find, allowing them to penetrate the plants and continue causing damage. As for the problem of trees drying in orchards, the results so far indicate that the chemical culture is being widely used in our region. My humble request for this platform to all of you is to reduce this usage. We need to reduce the exploitation of nutrients from the soil and focus much more on integrated nutrient management (INM). And regarding IPM, I consistently advocate for it on every platform. Yes, absolutely. We are continuously emphasizing that you should use them in the correct ratio and with control. Dr. Vandana, I would like to come to you now. See, we are constantly saying that you should spray in the correct ratio and appropriate quantity, but we also know that this requires practice. Nowadays, there are advanced sprayers and machines coming out. If these aren't used correctly, you won't be able to spray in the right proportion, and it can even prove dangerous for the person doing the spraying. What would you like to say about this?
Safe use means that anyone handling pesticides, from purchasing them at the shop to storing them, preparing the solution, and finally spraying them in the field, the farmers and their workers must prioritize their safety. Pesticides are, after all, poisons. They are designed to kill something, and they are toxic. We often think they won't harm us, that they are only for pests and diseases. But pesticides enter our bodies through our skin, eyes, and by inhalation. PPE or personal protective equipment is crucial. This means covering oneself completely. It's not necessary to buy an expensive kit from the market. If farmers don't have one, they can make their own. Wear full-sleeved clothes, use gloves like those found in pharmacies, and wear inexpensive rubber boots. Use eye protection and a cap. Essentially, anyone spraying must fully protect themselves. After ensuring personal safety, we must also pay attention to weather conditions. Never spray in adverse weather such as intense heat or strong winds. For example, if rain is forecasted to arrive soon and you have just sprayed, that entire application becomes useless. So, always keep in mind that your equipment should be in good condition and you must take full precautions before you start the spraying process, okay?
Absolutely. So this is a very important point. First, ensure your own safety and only then proceed, because if you are not healthy, how will food reach to us? You are the providers of food, so please take care of yourselves so that food can reach the entire world. Yes, someone else would like to ask a question.
My name is Alok Singh. I have been cultivating paddy using IPM techniques for the past 12 years. And I have found something remarkable that I would like to share with you all today. Firstly, I have observed that this IPM technique is based on the principle of prevention is better than cure, which is very good. Secondly, it's based on live and let live. The natural chain created by nature with beneficial and harmful insects was disrupted by the chemicals, but the IPM technique has helped maintain this balance. We really want this technique to spread across the entire country as it is highly effective, very useful for the farmers. So it should be applied to all of there. In the 12 years I have grown paddy using this technique, for 5 years I don't spend a single rupee on insecticides or pesticides. Through this technique, I have saved 35 to 40% on fertilizers and 70 to 80% on insecticides. So, if I talk about the total input cost, there's a saving of around 15%.
Yes, absolutely. That's wonderful to hear. See how farmers are sharing their experiences with using IPM right here. It's time to conclude the program now, but we will end on a very positive note so that this message doesn't stay confined to this place. May these voices reach every corner of the country. Wherever our farmers go, may they share what they have learned and how to adopt it in their lives, in their fields. And for this, we will take an oath. So I would like to request Dr. Ajanta ji to please come to the stage and administer an oath to our farmers and all of us, pledging that we will work in harmony with nature and use IPM.
So, all our farmer brothers and sisters will repeat after me. I understand that.
I understand that
Integrated pest management.
integrated pest management
For crop protection.
for crop protection
Is a sustainable and beneficial.
is a sustainable and beneficial
Technique. It not only improves the quality.
It not only improves the quality
Of agricultural produce.
of agricultural produce,
But is also safe.
but is also safe
For nature.
for nature
And aligns with the philosophy.
and aligns with the philosophy
One earth, one health.
of one earth, one health.
Therefore,
Therefore,
I pledge
I pledge
to adopt IPM myself.
to adopt IPM myself
And encourage its adoption
and encourage its adoption
and promotion
and promotion
by others.
by others.
I take the oath.
I take the oath.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All our farmers have taken this pledge from their hearts, and I am fully confident that they will not forget it once they leave this place. They will remember it and spread it to everyone. With this message, we conclude today's discussion on Krishi Chaupal. Please stay tuned to Doordarshan Kisan. Namaste.